Here we go.
All right, let's take a look at the first step, the meet and greet. You and your manager must both make an impressive first impression. Number one, skip up to the top of the page. Our first priority, you must introduce your manager to every customer within the first 3 minutes. Some of your dealerships are set up differently, and this is a class really for salespeople. So I know that you guys have different situations in your dealership, but just best use this the best that you can at your store. But here's the 7 keys of success. You and your manager must both make an impressive first impression. Number 2, proper posture. Your attitude and confidence create trust with your customer. Your greeting should be the same every time. It's really simple. Welcome to our dealership. My name is. Number 4, you must follow your greeting with an unexpected friendly question, like nice to meet you. What good things are happening to you guys today besides looking at cars? They're not expecting it. They're used to someone being kind of scared and walking out on the lot and doing a greeting and then just kind of like waiting. That's what they're used to. When they just left the competition, that's what happened. So set yourself apart in the first 3 minutes. Number 5, have a no-problem attitude toward initial objections, concerns, and move on. You don't always have to have a lengthy, you guys hear me with a lot of word tracks in here, but you don't always have to have some word track. Just have a no-problem attitude. That's all it really takes. No problem. I'll be happy to do that for you. Great. Just no problem. No problem. Number 6, use their name often and naturally during the entire sales process. If someone gives you their name, what's the first thing that normally happens to us when we're caught up working a customer or working a deal? We forget what? Their name. So if you have a problem with that, it's real easy. Carry a little notepad in your back pocket, pull it out, and write their name down. They'll appreciate it. If you don't mind, I want to jot that down real quick. Flip it open, write their name down, and put it back. They'll appreciate that. Does that make sense? How about treat your customer with respect. Never criticize their decisions or financial situations they're currently experiencing. Be empathetic instead. Now, I know that we don't come out and just say, oh boy, you're in some serious trouble here. If I'm going to be able to help you today, it'll be a miracle. I know we don't come out and say that. But are there some things that we do that can portray that to the customer? Things that we do or say? Remember, they know if you're interested or not. They really don't care what we know, how smart we are. They don't care how good we are. They don't care how well we know our product. We can be a walking, talking product king or queen. They really don't care. They only care whether we care about them or not. So remember that, especially in your first impression. We want to give them a lot of respect, and we want to compliment them on any research that they did or any knowledge that they have or they think they have. You want to make sure that you let them know that you appreciate it. It sounds like you've been doing your homework, and that's going to help you a lot, and it's also going to save us some time. Does that make sense? Sounds like you guys know exactly what you're looking for. That's going to make it easy. No problem. I'll be happy to do that for you. And if we're lucky, we still have some of those in stock. And we've been getting a tremendous response on those vehicles. They're really nice. They're just a no-problem attitude, and make sure that you portray that confidence, but you also respect the customer. All right, now let's get into the greeting. The first step, the meet and greet. The meet and greet should be the same every single time. You should have practiced it over and over and over. I put it in the book for you there so you can practice, drill, and rehearse this. It's welcome to our dealership. My name is Daryl. And if they don't give their name, just say in your. And when we shake their hand, it's not too hard, not too soft, but it's nice and firm and it's warm and friendly. Now, Once they give you your name, it's nice to meet you. Is this your first time to the dealership, or have you been here before? If it's a nice day outside, it's great to get a quick yes right in between there. You can say, it's a great day, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's been raining for 4 days and the sun's finally out. You get a quick yes. Does that make sense? Sales psychologists say what? 45
yeses in 45 minutes.
Equals to increase your closing ratio to 75%. So get that quick yes. Is this your first time to the dealership, or have you been here before? Actually, it's my first time. Awesome. Great. Awesome. Whatever you're comfortable with. Some positive word. Awesome. Did you have an appointment or just stopping in? Well, actually, I have an appointment to see Bob. Great. I'll get Bob for you right away. Now, let's stop right there. Time out for a second. A lot of times customers come in, there was an appointment, and they come in and ask for the manager, right? Now, if the manager's tied up, because sometimes the manager's busy or they're not available, and even sometimes the customer comes in to ask for that manager, and it's the manager's day off. Now, the biggest mistakes that most salespeople make is they'll say something to the customer. As soon as they come in the door, you do a great job on the welcome, and as soon as they ask for the manager, Bob, we say something like, well, you see, Bob's not here. What does that send a signal to the customer immediately? Disorganized. I'm not at the right place. I knew it. You know, I don't even know why I came out here. They said all these great things to me on the phone, and Bob's not even here. Another wild goose chase. You know, I've only been to 4 dealerships. None of them can get me done. Now, they already don't have any faith in getting anything done. No one's really took care of them, and now we're starting off on the wrong foot already. So what we want to do every time, whether Bob is there, not there, whether Bob is busy, whether Bob is desking deals, whether Bob's appraising the trade, whether Bob is with another customer, it really don't matter. Great. I'll get Bob for you right away. Follow me. Great. I'll get Bob for you right away. That's an act of service. That's showing the customer that they are at the right place. You've done a great job with the greeting and the meet and greet, and you've done a really good job making them feel comfortable. Great. I'll get Bob for you right away. If you have an appointment with Bob, that means you're way ahead of the game. He's one of our managers. I'll get him for you. You can have a seat right here. And then we go get who? Bob. But what if Bob is busy? No big deal. We just go back to the customer. I wanted to let you know that Bob was expecting you, because you do have an appointment for him. Bob's tied up helping some other nice people get into a vehicle. And what he wanted me to do is get the ball rolling for you so you guys didn't have to wait around. How does that sound? Now the customer knows Bob's the manager, right? And you're going to help them get the ball rolling so they don't have to what? See, that's the benefit for the customer. They don't have to wait. Now, a lot of salespeople say, well, Bob's the manager, Bob's busy, I'm going to be the salesperson. I'm going to go ahead and help you. And then the customer's like, well, they told me only to see Bob because we didn't set it up right. We have to make sure that we set it up right. Does this make sense? Yeah. It's got to be set up right, because if it's an appointment, they're already doing business with us. Okay, now, let's say it's not an appointment. Let's say the customer's just coming in from a drive-by, or they didn't call in. They responded to a mailer, or they came in they saw an ad on TV, or they just drove by the dealership and pulled in because they were looking for a vehicle like what you guys sell at your dealership. So it's a fresh up. So the customer comes in the dealership, the greeting's the same way. Welcome to our dealership. My name is Daryl. Really nice to meet you. Sure is a great day, isn't it? Yes, it is. Now, is this your first time coming to our dealership, or have you been here before? Actually, it's my first time. I pulled in because I saw the Ford F-150 on the front line. Awesome. We've been getting a tremendous response on those F-150s here lately. I'm glad that you stopped in. In order to help you save a little bit of time and also to help you save some money, what I'd like to do is get a little bit of information from you real quick to see which way is the best way to help you guys so we can find you the perfect truck. Yeah, but I already know that I want to look at that one out there on the front line. Great, that's going to save us even more time. Where are you guys from? And we start getting a little report, we'll relax. We can stand out on the lot and talk to the customer a little bit and just get them to settle down a bit. Our whole goal is to get some information from them so we can go out and look at the what? the F-150 because that's what they came to see. Is that right? But everyone wants to save time and wants to save money. Now, if you're not sure yet of if you're dealing with a customer who is, remember in the beginning we talked about qualifying and building rapport. We want to know what we're dealing with so we know which way is the best way to serve them. A lot of salespeople are in the bad habit of finding out what they're dealing with so they can pre-qualify. Is that right? Yeah. We don't want to pre-qualify. As a matter of fact, we believe that every single deal is a deal. We want to get enough information from them to get them on the right vehicle that's going to work for them and their budget, but the most vehicle for the least amount of payment, right? And you can go ahead and say that to the customer right up front. Our whole goal here is to get you the most vehicle for the least payment. Because we do have that F-150 that you saw out there, and I also may have some other ones just like it available. And then you bring them inside and you do the same thing. While you're qualifying and building rapport, we're going to get some information. Now, if you're dealing with a subprime customer and a prime customer, we're going to treat them all the same. Does that make sense? Now, in this part right here, with a subprime customer, they'll usually tell you, or we'll find out through fact-finding, whether they're trying to reestablish your credit or not. Is that right? Just by the questions we ask, like who did you finance your last vehicle with? Are you going to be trading anything in? Which ad did you see when you asked them how you heard about us? Those kind of things will tell us. Now, if it's a good credit customer, if you go to do a credit application right away, what's going to happen? They got perfect credit. They just came on a lot. You don't get any rapport, and you don't qualify and build rapport, and you bring them inside and do a credit app. What's going to happen, Ed? Hold on. Time out, right? What are you doing here? I don't need that. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure some customers want to see if they can get pre-approved, yes or no. But we're not here to sell them on credit, right? We're here to get them a vehicle. Now, we're going to find out their situation, and if they have some problem credit, and they say, well, I saw your ad, but I don't know if I can do this because my credit's not so good. Well, don't worry about that. We have programs here to help people get their credit reestablished. What I'll do is get some information from you first. That way we can save you some time, and we'll see which way is the best way to help you. And then we get a customer statement. Does that make sense? Yeah. With a good credit customer, you'll want to fill out your guest information sheet. Now, I'm not sure what you guys use at your dealership, but there should be some kind of up card or guest information sheet, something that you can fill out with the customer while you're qualifying and building rapport. Now, if they want to go out straight on the lot and look at cars, and you guided them the right way from the lot to the office, and they still want to go look at vehicles, let's go look at vehicles. You know, nothing's changed in the car business. We let the customer win the battle. Is that right? Yeah. We walk outside with them, but we need to make sure that we're qualifying, building rapport. We need to make sure we're doing a really good job investigating while we're qualifying, finding out their wants and needs, so we can help them to select the vehicle. And if they already know exactly which vehicle that they want, we still want to slow down, and we still want to get some rapport with them. Even if we have to let them win a little bit while we're walking out to the vehicle, still gain some rapport with the customer. And then when you go inside to get the keys, you can let the manager know that you have a customer that wants to see a vehicle before they do anything else. So you do the third step, which is touch base with the desk. Hey, Ed, I have a customer out here. They're really interested in the vehicle that's out here on the front line. I just wanted to let you know that I got some really good rapport with them. She's from the hospital. She's working at the hospital. She's actually a nurse. Her husband works over here at Walgreens, and they're needing another vehicle. They want to trade one in. So I'm going to get a tag right now and a key, and I'm getting ready to go on my presentation step. Hopefully get these nice people on the demonstration drive. Now, is that displaying some control by the salesperson or what? Now, if a salesperson comes inside and goes up to the desk and says, I got a customer out here, and all he wants is the price on the vehicle, and that's all they want, and the salesperson doesn't know anything about the customer. The salesperson has no clue even what their name is because they forgot. The salesperson doesn't know where they work or why they're here. Or does this make sense at all? If we do a better job in those initial steps, we'll get more control of the process and we'll sell more vehicles. The customer doesn't always need to do what we want them to do. We need to let the customer win. Our job as professionals is to guide the customer. Now, the better you get at it, the easier it is to guide them. Does that make sense? Because we don't want to control people, we want to control the process. And if we have the right words and we know what to say and what to do, we'll be able to guide them through this part of the process. And we're still on the meet and greet. The meet and greet just goes right in to qualify and build rapport. Now, let's back up a little bit. We have a challenge credit customer. Most of our qualifying is going to go over the customer statement. While we're filling out the customer statement, we're not just getting a social security number and a date of birth and a phone number and an address and the time at the address. We're also building rapport. We're building a rapport the whole while. So by the time we get to the sales desk and we go to pull the credit information, we have really good rapport, and we've already got all the correct information on the credit application. So when we touch base with the desk and the manager comes down to do the customer interview, after the third step, touch base with the desk, when they come down to do that interview, they'll have all the right information. So let's take a look at it. The warm-up steps on page 64. On page 64 is basically in writing most of those words that we just went over. On page 65 on the right-hand side, remember this fact. Good credit customers love this process even more than special finance customers. I've been in the car business for 16 years. It was really hard for me to swallow this part when I first started doing this. The reason why is because it was so ingrained in me to do it a different way out on the lot. So I had a hard time with it at first. If you look at the #1 Highline stores in our country right now, you see, I'm not interested in studying the stores that aren't performing. I'm interested in studying the ones who's getting it done and getting the best results. If you look at the top stores right now, Highline stores like BMW, Lexus, Mercedes, the top used car retailer in our country right now is CarMax. You guys heard of CarMax before, right? Their whole building, their whole setup, their whole design is set up for the customer to come inside before they go out on the lot. They just built a nice facility here locally in Charlotte, and they built this Mercedes dealership on South Boulevard. Some of you may have seen it. They have it designed where it's gated, and the customers park and they come into the showroom so they can do this part of the process before they even look at cars. The #1 BMW store in our country, same thing. It's not designed that way, but they bring them in to get the information. On the surveys from all the manufacturers, they love it. The customers love it. They like to sit down. They like to go over information, get rapport, and they like it when a professional salesperson knows what they're talking about, and they actually listen to the customer, and then they show them a vehicle based on what they want to see, not just on what some salesperson or manager wants to sell the customer. Does that make sense? So it's really, really important that we get good at it. And the better you get at it, the easier it will be. Now let's look at page 67. All right, skip that page right there, 67, and flip over to 68. Now here's some of the most common objections that we're getting in the showroom right now. The first one on the page is, they told me I was already approved. Is this false advertising? Well, the reason we invited you into the dealership is because we do have lenders who are willing to work with you. We just need to get a little bit more information from you so we can see which way is the best way to help you. Now, when they set the appointment up on the telephone, did they ask you to bring any goodies with you, maybe like a check stub or a phone bill? Because if it's a subprime customer and it's an appointment coming in, usually we ask them to bring some stipulations with them. Is that safe to say? So we'll go ahead and ask them for that. Now, if they come in and say, well, I'm already approved, and we just say, well, what that means is you're pre-approved. Well, that's not what they told me on the phone. You guys with me? Same customer, same situation. They told me I was already approved. Awesome. The reason we invited you into our dealership is because we do have a lender who's willing to work with you. We just need to get a little bit more information from you so we can see which way is the best way to help you. By the way, when you spoke to the nice people on the phone, did they give you like a confirmation number or ask you to bring any goodies with you, like a phone bill or a check stub? Sure, I got it right here. What's the next one on there? Another common objection that we have is, how much is it? How much is it? And there's so many different ways to handle this one. A good one is on a used car, especially if you don't have prices on your vehicles out on the lot. My used car manager handles all the prices on these vehicles, and I'll be happy to get that for you as soon as he's free. By the way, I wanted to ask, who's a lucky one? Who's getting a new vehicle? Is it going to be for you or someone else? Well, I was thinking about getting something for me. Now we're going to stop right there. What we'll do is go right back to the basics. We'll go right back to the basics. Remember earlier when we said once you overcome price or bypass price, in this case, when you bypass price, you go right back to the objection. To the basics. Now, if I haven't done my greeting yet, and the customer gets out of the vehicle and says, all I want to know is how much this truck is. Does that ever happen? You haven't even introduced yourself. Does that ever happen to us? Yeah. Happens all the time. Great. You do the bypass, and then you go right into your greeting. My used car manager handles all the prices on these vehicles, and I'll be happy to get that for you as soon as he's free. By the way, I wanted to ask, who's a lucky one? Who's getting a vehicle? Is it going to be for you or for someone else? Well, it's going to be for me. Well, welcome to our dealership. My name is Daryl. And we go right back into the basics, right into the process. Step 1, the meet and greet. Does this make sense at all? All right, now, as we're going through the process, and we're still in the first 1, 2, 3 steps, we're between step 1 and step 2. Another one could be something like, well, I'm here for the no money down deal, or I don't have any money down, or they told me on the phone I didn't need any money down. No problem. No money down program is one of our most popular programs. As a matter of fact, we sell a lot of vehicles from that promotion. By the way, and then you go right back to the bypass. By the way, here comes the either or question. Were you looking for something for yourself or someone else? By the way, is this your first time coming to our dealership, or have you been here before? Depends where you're at in the process, what you're going to ask them. We're not robots. We're peoples, right? We don't want to be robots. We want it to be natural. We want it to be cool. And you want to stay on track and move through the process. Your ability to bypass is going to determine how far you can get customers through this process. Now, the fact is, are you going to get every single customer that comes in your lot through this whole process? No. But if we get better skilled, will we get more through the process? Some of them will only get here. Some of them will only get here. Some of them will get all the way through and sell them a vehicle. That's not up to us to decide. You see, our goal as a salesperson is to get them far enough through this process as we can. Remember the game we play? The more we talk to, the more we test drive. The more we test drive, the more we write up. The more we write up, the more we what? We close. That's the game we want to play. We don't want to guess who the buyers are and who the buyers are not. We just want to play that game. And the better skilled we get, the further we will get people through this process. And if we sell ourselves, the dealership, the product, and we sell them on how to get reestablished, we got a shot at closing the car deal. Does this all make sense? All right, the last one on this page is what will my payments be, or how much are my payments? And don't customers ask us that sometimes early on and we have no clue? You know, we don't know what they're putting down. We don't know how long we're going to be able to get them financed for. We don't know how long the bank will let us go on this year model vehicle. We don't know. We really don't. But we're out on the lot and they'll be like, well, what's my payments? Well, as far as the payments go, that's probably one of the easiest parts of my job here at the dealership. My business manager handles all the payments and I'll be happy to get that for you. By the way, I wanted to ask, speaking of payments, were you looking for a 5-speed or an automatic? And then we go right back to where? Right back to the process. Right back to the process. All right, now, what's some other objections that you guys get out on the lot? In the first initial stages, like when you just got them. Just looking great. You know, with all the different vehicles and the makes and models these days, sometimes it can be a confusing process. But were you guys looking for something new today or something used? Pre-owned. Pre-owned? Awesome. Any other ones? What will my payment be? The one we just did? Okay. Well, as far as the payments, that's probably one of the easiest parts of my job. My business manager handles all that. There's a lot of different variables to consider when working a payment, but if you're looking for a really good one, we definitely have them. By the way, I wanted to ask, were you looking for something in a 4-door or a 2-door?
Some 4-door.
4-door? Okay, good job. Any other ones?
I only have 5 minutes.
You only have 5 minutes? No problem. That's more than... No problem.
My lunch break.
That's cool. I got to get a lunch too. That's no problem at all, though. That's more than enough time for me to get you some information. As a matter of fact, I'll get you everything you need so when you do have time to come back. By the way, who's the lucky one? Who's getting the vehicle? Is it for you or someone else?
Myself.
It's for yourself? Okay, well, welcome to our dealership. My name is Daryl.
Nice to meet you, Daryl. I'm Mike.
Nice to meet you, Mike. They're not expecting that. Do you guys know that? They're not expect. You know what they're doing? They're trying to throw us off our game. They're pulling in the lot. First thing they're thinking, oh boy, here comes the car salesperson. Watch this. And they'll even tell their wife, won't they, Ed? Watch this, honey, I'll shake them up. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. They're buyers. They didn't wake up this morning, get in the car and say, what do you want to do today, honey? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. Let's go stroke around on the lot and just, kick tires and waste a bunch of time. You know what? Let's just go get one of these car salespeople and waste all their time today, honey. You want to? We ain't got nothing else better to do. Let's waste 3 hours of our life. Okay, let's do it. Pull in. There's a place right there. Is that what they're really doing? No. They're here to buy what? They're here to buy a vehicle. And if they don't get it from us, they're going to get it from someone. And all they do when they come in is they want to pick a price, or pick a car, pick a price, and shop us. And if we don't follow the process, our odds are going to be low, not high, of getting the car deal. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And now with a good credit customer, remember that. I want you guys to write that down too. Here's the customer's game plan. Customer's game plan. Just write it down on one of these pages here. Their game plan is to pick a vehicle. Number one, pick a vehicle. Number one, pick a vehicle. Number two, they want to get a price. Number three, shop. Okay, now some of our customers that have credit challenges, they come in, they're full of doubt. They don't want to shop. They just want to know if they can get a car or not. Yes or no? Yeah. They're like, can you get me done? Right? Well, they come in with doubt. Is this real? Can these people really help me? This is their game plan. Is it real? And if they do find out they're going to get done, what do they want? They want an unrealistic vehicle with an unrealistic payment. I want an SUV, $199 a month. How much is it? 30 grand. No problem. Let me get that for you right away. Your payments, it's only 365,000 payments, and we can get it there. No, seriously. They want an unrealistic vehicle, and then what do they want? They want to do it with what? No money down. They want to do it with no money down. And some of us have some advertising out there, like $88 a month or $99 a month or some kind of stuff. And, of course, they want that too. With the zero down. With the highest interest rate. Correct? Yes or no? Yes. It's their game plan, right? So since that's their game plan, the only way that we can overcome is by following the things that we talked about. By following this process. And the further we get through, the more we'll sell. The further we get through, the more we'll close. Now, we don't close them all, but if we get one and they don't buy, should we put them in our database and follow up properly? Yeah. Okay, now, if we did a really good job on our meet and greet, our qualifying and building rapport, touching base with the sales desk, we treat them with respect, we explain to them how everything works, we show them how it works, we do a good job on the feature, advantage, and benefit presentation after we selected the correct vehicle for the customer, and we really took care of them and they didn't buy, and they went somewhere else, and they didn't follow this process. They just got their information. They didn't get rapport. They asked them for a cosigner and some money down, and then they left that dealership, and you follow up. Where are they going to come back to? Are they going to come to you or the other dealership? They're going to come to you. All right, now we're still on the first two steps, and these are our initial objections. We're going to study And we're going to learn and we're going to practice, drill, and rehearse page 68. So I want you to circle that page, curl the corner, because we're going to come back to this page over and over again.